The Jedi on the left is Koth. The Jedi on the right is Agen Kolar. These are two different Jedi. These are two different characters. Do not get them confused, although it is very understandable if you do. Now, Koth was on the Jedi Council in The Phantom Menace and in Attack of the Clones. Although we can't really see him in Attack of the Clones, we can only see the back of his head. And Koth was killed by Darth Vader after Order 66. Now, there's more on Koth's story later. He was featured pretty heavily in Star Wars The Clone Wars. And we do find out that later he was kicked out of the Jedi Council, kicked off the Jedi Council, for reasons we don't really know yet. Agen Kolar was on the Jedi Council in Revenge of the Sith. Agen Kolar was actually seen in Attack of the Clones. He was actually fighting during the Battle of Geonosis, and Agen Kolar is on the Jedi Council in Revenge of the Sith. Agen Kolar is actually sitting right in between Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin Skywalker, and Agen Kolar, along with Saesee Tiin, Kit Fisto, and Mace Windu, go to Darth Palpatine's office, and they confront Chancellor Sidious, and of course it's Kit Fisto, Mace Windu, Agen Kolar, and Saesee Tiin who pull out their lightsabers, and Darth Sidious pulls out his lightsaber and does that really weird scream and that like 176 degree like swirl or whatever it is, and Darth Sidious kills Agen Kolar first. Darth Sidious stabs Agen Kolar with his lightsaber, and Agen Kolar dies. Darth Sidious kills Agen Kolar. Now, of course, it should also be mentioned that Agen Kolar did have a green lightsaber in Attack of the Clones, as well as some of the expanded universe Clone Wars comics, but he has a blue lightsaber in Revenge of the Sith. So, Koth was a Jedi Master on the Jedi Council in The Phantom Menace and in Attack of the Clones, and Koth was also featured pretty heavily in the Clone Wars series. Koth was in Season 2, Episode 9, Grievous Intrigue, where he was captured by General Grievous. Koth actually put up a really good fight against General Grievous, but the Magna Guards kept harassing Koth, and Koth kept getting electrocuted, and so General Grievous was able to grab Koth by the throat and kidnap him, and General Grievous very brutally tortured Koth very slowly. And so Adi Gallia, Anakin Skywalker, and Obi-Wan Kenobi managed to save Koth and rescue him. And of course, Koth was seen again and again in the Clone Wars. He was seen sitting on the Jedi Council many times, and he was seen in the Jedi War Room getting the Jedi intelligence briefings as well. But at some point, Koth was kicked off the Jedi Council. He was kicked out of the Jedi Council. We don't know the reason why, but it must have been a pretty bad reason, because Koth was on the Jedi Council for a long time. So for him to be kicked out is pretty significant. So we don't know why. But afterwards, Koth got married. He got married to a woman named Mira, and they had a child together. So Koth gave birth to a daughter, and this was after Order 66. So after Order 66, Koth was serving as a priest of Ganthic Enlightenment, whatever kind of religion that is. So Koth was serving as a religious priest, and he and his daughter had a baby, a little girl. But right when the daughter was born, Darth Vader tracked them down, and this was all in the Charles Soule Darth Vader comics, by the way. Charles Soule did this storyline. And so Darth Vader confronts Koth right after Koth just had a daughter. And so Koth, at first Koth tries to reason with Darth Vader, and Koth says that he has no loyalty to the Jedi left, and that Koth even also says that he's willing to sell out surviving Jedi. He's willing to sell out surviving members of the Jedi Order, and he's willing to sell out people who survived Order 66. He says that he knows some codes and some frequencies that he can use to detect survivors of Order 66, and that he will even turn them over to Darth Vader in exchange for Darth Vader leaving Koth and his family alone. And so Koth offers, but it's unclear if Koth really knows how to turn over surviving Jedi, or if he was just saying that to buy time. And it's unclear if Koth was even going to do it, because Koth seems ready to go with his lightsaber, because Koth is just clearly just ready to fight Darth Vader. So was Koth really going to betray the Jedi? I think it'd be interesting to explore that, but maybe in a different story down the line. So Eeth Koth starts fighting Darth Vader, and Darth Vader notices that Eeth Koth is very angry and very proud as well, and that Eeth Koth is just doesn't seem to be a Jedi. Eeth Koth just has these pride and anger traits that are not typical of what you would see in a Jedi, and that are just flat out against the Jedi code. So clearly, Eeth Koth had many issues that he needed to work out, and I guess many of those issues are why the Jedi Council kicked him out. But yes, Eeth Koth fights Darth Vader, and Eeth Koth's daughter gets kidnapped by the Inquisitors, and so Darth Vader kills Eeth Koth, and that's the last thing Eeth Koth sees. Eeth Koth sees his daughter getting kidnapped, and that is when Eeth Koth dies because Darth Vader stabs him in the back. And of course, later Darth Sidious is laughing about how Eeth Koth was a priest because, that's the closest thing to a Jedi. A priest is very close to a Jedi, like they're very similar jobs. So Darth Vader's like, ha ha ha, it was so easy to find him. Ha ha ha, these Jedi idiots deserve their extinction. So basically that's what happens. But Agen Kolar, he gets on the Jedi Council at some point towards the end of the Clone Wars, and he is in Revenge of the Sith, and he's on the Jedi Council, and he goes with Mace Windu to capture Chancellor Palpatine, Darth Sidious. And the moment they pull out their lightsabers, the Jedi do, Darth Sidious kills Agen Kolar first. Darth Sidious pulls out his lightsaber and stabs Agen Kolar, and Agen Kolar dies. And in a manner of speaking, Agen Kolar, I guess, could be technically the first casualty of the Jedi Purge, because when Darth Sidious started killing those Jedi, I would argue that was really the beginning of the Jedi Purge, and Order 66 was the next step. And so, yeah, Agen Kolar, he died. Darth Sidious killed him. So Darth Sidious killed Agen Kolar. Darth Vader killed Eeth Koth. And as for Eeth Koth, he was kicked out of the Jedi Council at some point. This is like the second instance we've heard of someone being kicked out of the Jedi Council. Oh, and Eeth Koth and Agen Kolar also have different hairstyles. If you notice, Agen Kolar just has his hair down, and Eeth Koth has his hair actually tied up a little bit. But yes, Eeth Koth is the second Jedi we know of who was kicked out of the Jedi Council, because Sifo-Dyas was the first Jedi kicked out of the first Jedi we know of who was kicked out of the Jedi Council. Sifo-Dyas was kicked out of the Jedi Council, Eeth Koth was kicked out of the Jedi Council, and we know Jocasta Nu was on the Jedi Council at some point, but she retired from the Jedi Council. And as for Alpha Rancisis, we know he's not on the Jedi Council anymore during Revenge of the Sith, so maybe he retired, or maybe he just left voluntarily, or maybe he was kicked out, but we don't know. We don't know what happened to Alpha Rancisis. Actually, we don't even know what happened to him because he survived Order 66. But yes, Eeth Koth and Agen Kolar, two different characters with two different fates, both getting killed by lightsabers.